Hello, welcome back, Steve's Corner. The American dream is still a possibility. I don't care what nobody tells you. It is. It's it ain't easy to achieve, but it never has been. Never has it been easy to achieve. I seen a stat in there earlier today. Was it 1 in 5 millennials? I believe it was. Never expected to be able to buy a house. And it was 1 in 10 Gen Zs, I think. Never expected to. And they was talking about how rough it feels for people coming up now, but how they don't see no way ahead. No way that they can have the kind of life that their parents had, or how they were able to have as kids. Provide that for theirs. Hey man, it's never been easy. Why you think them daggone pioneers going across the country, they built daggone houses out of mud, out of sod houses, dug them in the side of hills and stuff like that. They couldn't, it was a luxury to have a wood floor back then, or actual glass windows. We're talking 150 years ago, but still, that was a luxury, They done what they could to make out. It's never been easy. This is no different than any other time in history. The average working stiff has a life of toil, of misery. It's rough. It's not easy. I remember before me and the wife got married, so it's been, I don't know, I guess pushing 40 years ago now. We was at my granddad's eating, me and her. I went down to South Carolina to visit her, and granddad was having dinner, so we went over to eat with him. His brother was in from Texas, and his brother asked me, when you expect to be buying a house? I said, man, we ain't never gonna be able to afford a house. And that was just too much, I made $7 an hour, I said, man, I just don't see how I can do that, He said, well, isn't that interesting? He said, because when he was a sergeant in the Army, somebody that was under him in the service he was talking to was a young fella back when he was in the service, because he was retired by then. So this had to be back in the 40s, I guess. He said, well, because he asked that boy the same thing. He said, well, I expect to have probably be on my third house by time 40 or whatever it was. Have raised kids and everything. He said, here you are thinking you can't even buy one. I said, man, I just don't see it. It's not easy. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the time is key. Time is key. You don't start out, living in a 3-bedroom mansion, You have to work your way up to that from a trailer or an apartment or whatever, Because you just don't have enough time and experience to afford anything major right off. I don't care whether you went to college or not, it takes a lot just to live, just to put food in your belly, dadgummit, and keep a roof over your head. It takes a pile of daggone money. And most people just don't make that from the get-go. They have to gain that experience, get a little time under their belt, a little time to save up some money. Hey man, it ain't gonna be easy, but and we ain't got the best leadership in the world right now either. The best policies ain't being put out there to help you along. But you got to keep trying, and you got to hope for it. If you lose hope on your ability to live the American dream, there's no way you're going to even come close to it. And that's the thing. People get to struggling and toiling, and You know, it gets the feeling like they ain't never gonna get no better off. But if you keep at it, usually it does. With a little touch of good luck. I mean, you got to keep your health. You know, you got to keep a job. You know, and it's gonna take more than one job. You know, people have been working multiple jobs throughout the history. You know, just to survive. There's no reason we should be any different now. You know, it shouldn't be in your head that a 40-hour-a-week job should pay for the kind of living that you want to have. You know, that's the thing. You know, that's what got me thinking about this. I seen a thing on TV, but they had 2,000 immigrants, illegals, come across the border this morning at one of them places down yonder in Texas. And they showed a line of them coming from the hillside over there in Mexico and going down through the daggone river and coming up and surrendering to the border patrol right there. 2,000 of them in one shot like that. Yeah. Them people come across here, and most of them are a heck of a worker, Doc. I don't lie to you. Now, I don't know about their background, you know, the ones that are criminals and stuff like that, the ones that are actual drug mules and junk like that. But the ones that come across are decent people. I mean, them suckers work, Doc. It ain't nothing for them to live, you know, 4, 5, 6 in an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, and work 72 hours a week. I mean, it's no big deal to them. You know? They understand the value of hard work and what it takes to have anything. I think a lot of the young people nowadays have kind of lost that. You know, the value of hard work. You got to do stuff you don't want to do until you get to the point where you don't have to do that. It's just, I mean, that's most people go through life just like that. You know, but they understand when they come across here, if they're able to stay over here, they understand that they can make a better life for themselves and for the young kids. You know, that's the whole what do they call it? Promise of the United States of America, right there. That opportunity is there if you're willing to do what it takes, and it's hard. It's hard. I've had them doubts myself when I was younger. You know, I mean, you get to owing a bill and you say, man, I just can't ever get out of owing stuff. You know, eventually it comes to you. You got to keep at it. You know, the American dream is still a possibility if you're willing to put in the time, and don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't put off any blame on anybody else. It's all on you. You know, you got to take some responsibility on yourself. I don't know. Well, y'all take care of yourselves. Enjoy the week, and we'll talk to y'all later.